When did you first notice that something you thought was a setback actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise? That moment when everything you struggled through suddenly makes sense, and you see the hidden good in it. My name is Jordan Hayes, and I'll never forget the day I got fired from my first real job after college. At the time, I thought it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me. I had spent years working late nights, sacrificing weekends, and building what I believed was the perfect start to my career. When my boss called me into his office and told me the company was downsizing, and that I was part of it, I felt my entire world crumble. My hands shook, my chest tightened, and I left the building wondering if I'd ever get back on my feet. For weeks I wallowed. I scrolled through job listings obsessively, sending out dozens of applications and getting rejection emails faster than I could track. I questioned everything, my abilities, my decisions, even my worth. I remember sitting on the couch one rainy afternoon, staring at the ceiling, thinking, this is it. I've failed. I'm never going to make it. Then, one morning, I saw an ad for a small nonprofit looking for a program coordinator. It wasn't my dream job, it paid half of what I used to make, but something about the mission spoke to me. They were working on clean water initiatives in underserved communities across the US, and for the first time in months, I felt a spark of purpose. I applied, almost half-heartedly, and got the interview. Somehow, I got the job. That first week was exhausting, eye-opening, and humbling. I drove to rural towns I'd never known existed, met families who struggled daily for basic necessities, and saw the kind of resilience and hope I had only read about in books. I began to realize something profound. The setback I'd hated, the job loss I thought was catastrophic, had pushed me toward work that mattered in ways my previous job never could. Over time, my confidence grew, but more importantly, I felt fulfilled. I was part of something bigger than myself. The kids who learned to drink safe water, the parents who no longer feared disease, the communities seeing real change. I got to witness the impact firsthand. And every time I felt exhausted or overwhelmed, I remembered that without losing that first job, I would have never found this path. Looking back, that failure was actually a blessing in disguise. I learned resilience, empathy, and how to measure success beyond paychecks or titles. I understood that sometimes life removes us from one path so we can find a path that aligns with our purpose. That moment of loss, the one that made me cry and question everything, was the moment that led me to the most meaningful work of my life. Now, whenever I face setbacks, I remind myself, what feels like the end might actually be the beginning of something far greater. Struggles, failures, and closed doors often hold hidden lessons, and sometimes, the best blessings arrive disguised as disappointment. Full story added in below.